The regular monthly board meeting of the Ambridge School District Board of Directors on Wednesday, November 15th, 2023 is now called to order. Are you here for the flag salute? You can come up. Can everybody please rise? We will follow you whenever you say.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Yeah, it's seated me. Sorry.
Hello, dear school board, Dr. Pacquiao, and community members. My name is Gemma Blow, and I serve on the fourth grade student council. At State Street Elementary School, I would like to thank you for having us tonight. It means a lot to us. I would like to have the rest of the council members introduce themselves at this time. Dave Luigi. Luca Badovich. State Street Elementary started this year out. The first day of school, students will be invited in star costume, welcoming them back to the 2023-2024 school year. Music played and students high-fived as they entered the building. The star costumes are part of our school-wide positive behavior program. The next day, there was an assembly of the student body going over the star kindness program and expected behaviors for the week and how to earn red kindness tickets and kindness. August 25th, the gym walked with that's a campus. He did many fun tricks and got our students involved in it. Everyone had a blast. September 5th was our after school launch. Food trucks, field drugs, jump houses, and games were set up for everyone to use. Canine Officer John Casey came to our school to teach us about what the state police do with their dogs. We were so happy to meet this canine and watch it do a quick search. We love our burgers at State Street, and so we had a pep rally to show our burger pride and recognize all of our students that play various sports. We were outside and our cheerleaders led us in some cheers. Mary Alice from PK came to the school to discuss the mural and how she determines the winner. Fun was had about October 31st was the Roast Eagle one, along with the Tony Parade and party. During the 3rd of November, we are celebrating Kindness Month and World Kindness Day. We are currently doing food drive-in with the skipping turkey. Grade 5 decorated gingerbread houses at their school. They will be on display at the block northway on midnight. The gingerbread houses are beautiful and they were very tempting to eat. On November 9th, we celebrated Veterans Day. We wore red, white, and blue in honor of our veterans who attended our Veterans Day breakfast. Each street students made cards and gave them as they thanked each veteran for their service. The famous Ambridge Area School District Steel Drums entertained our guests. This was a very well attended and fun program. Silas Patterson. It takes students to school on a fire truck. Silas was the lucky winner of the PCO contest, bringing awareness to fire safety. The student body greeted him on the truck. As the truck came into the school, lost with sirens booming. Following the drop-off of Silas, the Dayton Fire Department conducts a program on fire safety and how to keep your family safe during fire. Thank you to those firefighters that taught us things about the duty. State Street supports security place for breathing children, raising that homework nurses, homework for dollars. Student council attended a summit with many other school districts on October 18th. Student council is getting ready for a brief awareness like scheduled for November. October 23rd to October 27th for a we all learn how to say drug free. We have a cultural spirit and purpose. We also have spirit week. We wear neon colors because we are things like this. We have future December activities planned, such as mobile app lab, Santa Land, holiday band and chorus program, skiing parade, and holiday parties to name a few. Thank you for letting us share all of the wonderful things that are going on at State Street Elementary. Happy holidays and welcome readers.
Could I see that, please? I heard that you guys start with Star Kindness cheer.
We are the stars, we are safe, we are trustworthy, we are accountable, we are respectful, we are bridgers.
Thank you for coming this evening. It's great to hear from you. This meeting is being recorded for district purposes. It is or may be published in part or in its entirety on the district's website without the express permission of meeting participants. Sure.
I'm getting all.
Share.
Keep on sharing.
Thank you guys for coming. Oh, thanks, Luca, for doing for me.
Great job.
Kate.
You guys spoke very well.
Good
Good job. Oh, you have one. Okay, I do.
Here, and here.
The doctor had to go there.
Thanks for coming. Good job. Good job. Good job.
I see that. Right.
Can I have a roll call, please? Sorry.
Mr. Carpenter,
Here.
Mr. Stathis. Ms. Fisher,
Here.
Ms. Cisco.
Here.
Mr. Kaber,
Here.
Mrs. Kehoe. Here. Mrs. Smith. Here. Mr. Zaki.
Here.
Mrs. Romasco. Here. A Preston. Thank you.
In the sunshine law.
The Board of School Directors held an executive session on Wednesday, November 15th to discuss personnel matters, matters subject to attorney-client privilege and other confidentiality laws.
Thank you. Any correspondence?
No correspondence.
Thank you. I have a motion to accept the minutes of Wednesday, October 11th, meeting of trust, voting and non-voting, and Wednesday, October 18th, 14th.
No, no.
Wait a second. Very good. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passes. Motion to accept the treasurer's report dated October 2023. We have a second?
Second.
All in favor? All opposed? Motion carries. And do we have any amendments to the agenda this evening? Seeing none, do we have a motion for the approval of the agenda? So moved. We have a second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carried. Okay, we are doing recognition and presentation now. System. If you could just real quick, when you come up here, we'll hand you your certificate, but if you can come through and shake your hand, that would be great.
And I'll call your name, come on up. If you come through to shake the board's hand, you'll get your certificate from President Ramasco. I don't think I need a mic. All right, we're gonna start with Western PA tennis. Congratulations to the following student athletes for being nominated by opposing teams and players for honorable mention for the 2023 Sportsmanship Award for Girls Tennis. Mara Ilko and Sheridan Olenek. Congratulations. You do come up here, stay for a picture at the end.
Great job.
You don't mind taking a picture. Do you mind if you have a? Or Dr. Filikowski, do you mind taking pictures? Sure, I'm sorry. Oh, run for family first. Okay. Congratulations.
We go.
Okay, moving on to students of the month. High school October students of the month. Azor Humphreys, 12th grade. Mackenzie Keeber, 11th grade. Cameron Raynack, 10th grade. Holly Woodzat, 9th grade.
Just be careful. Lord knows I trip. Just be careful. Just you said.
Yeah.
We'll move on to high school October extra effort awards. Natasha Alexander, 12th grade. Charlotte Truskowski, 11th grade. Lana Holcomb, 10th grade. Giselle McIntosh, 9th grade. Congratulations. We'll take a picture.
Oh, you three are in the middle.
Yeah.
Let's not kid ourselves here. You're fine. You're
Down.
Oh. Thank you. All right, we're gonna move on to middle school students of the month. We have Stella Homage for 8th grade. Rosella Demuth for 7th grade. And 6th grade. Economy Elementary October Student of the Month. Mia Padani, 5th grade. Highland Elementary October Student of the Month. Charlotte Beagle, 2nd grade. And State Street Elementary School Student of the Month, Nina Elms, 5th grade. Oh my gosh. Hi. Hello.
Great job.
Come on, guys, in the middle. Congratulations. Sorry, also, can you come join us, please? We're gonna do it again. All right. Congratulations to the following student athletes for being nominated by opposing teams and players for honorable mention in the 2023 Sportsmanship Award for Girls Tennis. Mara Elko.
Congratulations. All well done.
Thank you.
Here to present the High School Employee of the Month on behalf of Dr. Zuzik. Ms. Renee Guerreri here today. I'll read what she wrote. Ms. Guerreri is a crucial part of everything that happens at the high school. She makes sure that the classes are covered and meetings can take place for staff. She greets everyone with a kind word, no matter how hectic the morning may be. We are grateful to have her. Congratulations and thank you, Renee. Congratulations to Ms. Renee Guerreri. On behalf of Mr. Hurd, I will do the Middle School Employee of the Month as well. Is Mrs. Jennifer Scaletta here today? Okay, Mrs. Scaletta, our inspiring Ambridge Middle School Employee of the Month, exemplifies dedication to our students. Going above and beyond, she orchestrated their participation in the Safe to Save program assembly with Beaver County District Attorney. Furthermore, her leadership on a transformative field trip to Harrisburg for Youth Ambassadors Program showcases her commitment to fostering meaningful conversations about mental health and resources. Mrs. Scaletta's passion for our students truly makes her shine as an invaluable member of our team. Congratulations, Jen Scaletta. This is on behalf of Economy Elementary and Mrs. Blitzis is Michelle Putin here. Come on up. Going to read this on behalf of Mrs. Blitzis. Ms. Hooton has proven herself to be a valuable asset to our building and to the entire community. She dedicates herself to her classrooms and students, going above and beyond. She supports her students and their families, providing them with suggestions and strategies to ensure success. She is flexible and can adapt her day to rise to any challenge. Ms. Hooton is a great team member. She offers new insight to problems as they arise and solutions, which are both helpful and streamlined. Her work ethic is truly appreciated.
Thank you.
On behalf of Mrs. Hall, for Island Elementary, employee of the month is Amy Watts. Is she here today? This fall, she hosted a student teacher from Slippery Rock University and has been very active in networking with our Smart Schools liaison at WQED to bring high-quality resources and professional development to her colleagues. She is a student-centered teacher and works collaboratively with support staff and communicates with families daily to best meet all of her students' needs. Congratulations, Mrs. Amy Watts. Mrs. Hoover, do you want to come up for your building? Thank you.
Hey, the State Street employee, State Street Elementary School, October employee of the month is Miss Kim Rotham. Ms. Kim Roth is the focus teacher at State Street Elementary School. The focus teacher works with children to meet the state content and performance standards in reading, English language arts, and mathematics. Ms. Roth works with children in grades K to 5. She focuses on the needs of the children by meeting them where they are and builds upon this for increased academic success. Ms. Rafa is the key to State Street. She is the head teacher, promotes academic success for every child, is the student council representative, plans and implements the Star and Kindness program, raises money for Children's Hospital and grief awareness, plans many assemblies that teaches academics and or social emotional learning, field trips, after school programs, and much, much more. Ms. Rafa truly believes in the success of every child at State Street Elementary School and Ambridge Area School District. Ms. Rafa has shown her Bridger spirit since she was hired at Ambridge and will continue to do so as she enters her 37th year of teaching. Well, you started in your 12th, right? She has watched many children grow up to be exceptional adults and has even taught their children. Here are some things that students and former students have said about Ms. Rafa. She was tough but fair, and I learned a lot. Former student. Thank you, Ms. Rafa, for teaching me to read. Current student. Ms. Rafa lets us do things that we do not do in our classrooms. Current student. We need to talk about it. Ms. Rafa was my teacher, and now she's teaching my kids. Former student. I am happy that Ms. Rafa is still at State Street. I know she will watch over my children. Former student. Ms. Rafa is still here? Seriously? I can't believe it. It makes me happy to see someone I know in the same school that I attended. Former student. I really like Ms. Rafa, and I wish I was in her class every day. She makes me feel good. Current student. And my personal favorite, Ms. Rafa, he's not like me. He's a good kid and will not give you any grief like I did. Former student. Congratulations to Ms. Rafa, the State Street employee of the month.
Picture time. Oh, no, you don't get it. Ask anybody. Not got very good thing. I'm gonna be. Yeah, Michelle, do you want to come here too?
I thought I got out of it.
You can ask anybody else. I don't let them out either. It's true.
Very nice.
And then you want to get a picture with all your kids over here?
Yep.
Come here. Because they're going to the future. Come on.
Mr. President, may come forward to comment on agenda items only. Each person must state their first and last name and address prior to speaking. Each resident will be allowed 3 minutes and can speak only once. This period for public comment prior to the standing committee report will be limited to 1/2 hour. Although not required, board members desiring to address questions or concerns may do so after the residents' comments or questions or at the completion of the committee report. There will still be an opportunity for residents to comment on any business relevant to the Ambridge Area School District under old and new business at the end of the meeting. Anybody who wishes to speak this evening? Under Education and Technology, Mr. Smith and Mr. Zachary.
Thank you, Madam President. And for education and technology, I move for the adoption of items 1 through 4.
We have a second.
Second.
Any board discussion? Have a roll call, please.
Mr. Carpenter,
Yes.
Mrs. Fisher,
Yes.
Ms. Bisco,
Yes.
Mr. Seaver,
Yes.
Mrs. Kehoe,
Yes.
Mrs. Smith,
Yes.
Mr. Zachary,
Yes.
Mrs. Romasco.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Under Finance and Budget, Buildings and Grounds. Mr. Carpenter.
I make a motion to adopt items number 1 and 2 under finance and budget.
We have a second.
Second.
Any board discussion? Have a roll call, please.
Mr. Carpenter,
Yes.
Mrs. Fisher.
Yes.
Ms. Bisco.
Yes.
Mr. Seaver,
Yes.
Mrs. Kehoe,
Yes.
Mrs. Smith,
Yes.
Mr. Zachary, Mrs. Romasco.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Under Athletics and Public Relations, Mr. Zachary and Mr. Kehoe.
I make a motion to adopt item number 1 under athletics and public relations this evening.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Any board discussion? Have a roll call, please.
Mr. Carpenter,
Yes.
Mrs. Fisher.
Yes.
Ms. Bisco.
Yes.
Mr. Seaver.
Yes.
Mrs. Kehoe,
Yes.
Mrs. Smith,
Yes.
Mr. Zachary.
Yes.
Mrs. Romasco.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Under Steering of Rules and Legislative, Mrs. Kehoe, Mrs. Fisher.
Yes, I'd like to make a motion to adopt items 1 through 3 as presented.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Any board discussion? Can I have a roll call, please?
Mr. Carpenter,
Yes.
Mrs. Fisher.
Yes.
Ms. Bisco.
Yes.
Mr. Seaver,
Yes.
Mrs. Kehoe,
Yes,
Mrs. Smith,
Yes.
Mr. Zachary,
Yes.
Mrs. Romasco.
Under Personnel and Salary Schedule and Labor Relations. Mrs. Smith.
Thank you. I will read the ones that are new since last week. Number 1 is a professional employee. It is recommended to approve Rachel Hazuda as a Highland Elementary 5th grade teacher at a salary of $48,781. That is step 1 masters as per terms the Ambridge Area Education Association agreement. Pending receipt of current clearances, satisfactory drug screening, TB testing, and responses by current former employers to Act 168 screening and the PDE certifications if applicable. Number 2 is added. It is a retirement. It is recommended to approve the resignation due to retirement of Michelle Happich, Ambridge Area High School math teacher, effective January 5th, 2024, with regret. Number 3 is added. It is a retirement. It is recommended to approve the resignation due to retirement of David Prusik, a paraprofessional at the middle school, effective January 2nd, 2024, with regret. Number 4 is a resignation. It is recommended to approve the resignation of Alexis Medovich from her position as a kindergarten teacher at State Street Elementary, effective December 11th, 2023, with regret. The district reserves the right to retain this employee for 60 days statutory period or until relieved of duties, which occurs first. And number 5 is an add-on. It is a resignation. It is recommended to approve the resignation of Kim Puppet from her position as a family and consumer science teacher at the Ambridge Area Middle School. That'll be effective November 14th, 2023, with regret. The district reserves the right to retain the employee for 60 days statutory period or until relieved of duties, whichever occurs first. Are there any comments on any of those? With that, I will make a motion to accept items 1 through 12 this evening.
We have the back.
Second.
Oh, we'll read 11, I'm sorry. Go over to page 6, I will read 11 and 12. 11 is a para-educator or teaching assistant. It is recommended to hire the following individual to fill a para-educator position per terms of the Ambridge Area Education Support Professional Association. The collective bargaining agreement pending receipt of current clearances, satisfactory drug screening, TB testing, and responses by current and former employers as to Act 168 screening. That'll be Kamala Shad at Highland Elementary. And we also added number 12, which is a food service assistant. It is recommended to hire Juanita DeNuno as a non-union for food service assistant at the high school, pending receipt of current clearances, satisfactory drug screening, TB testing, and responses by current and former employers, Act 168 screening. And with that, I will make a motion to accept items 1 through 12.
Second. Thank you. Any board discussion? Can I roll call please?
Mr. Carpenter.
Yes.
Mrs. Fisher.
Yes.
Mrs. Fishka.
Yes.
Mr. Seaver.
Yes.
Mrs. Kehoe. Mrs. Smith.
Yes.
Mr. Zaki.
Yes.
Mrs. Donaska.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Before moving on to the report this evening, I just wanted to take a moment to thank Mr. Seaver, who has been here tonight, but Mr. Seaver and Mrs. Smith for their service to the board. Mr. Seaver and Mrs. Smith, this is their second go around, so they did 4 years and now they did 2 more. So I greatly appreciate their service. Thank you for all your time. Both of you.
Thank you.
I want to wish everyone a healthy and a happy Thanksgiving.
Likewise, wishing everyone a happy Thanksgiving break coming up here, and just wanted to thank both our staff members and students who are here to present. It's always enjoyable to hear what they have to say, going to school that presented themselves so well, and all the extra effort, award winners, students of the month, employees of the month. We appreciate everything that you do to make this district strong. Thank you.
Thank you. It is now time for old new business. Any district resident who desires to comment on any business relevant to the Ambridge School District should now come forward. Each person must state their first and last name, address prior to speaking. Each person will be allowed 3 minutes of each opening. Do you have anybody who wishes to speak this evening?
I do. My name is Leah Hartman at 2903 Conway Walhurst Road. I'm just calling, or I'm just here to get more information basically on the incomplete grades that the children are getting for the lack of teachers that are present in the classrooms. And what I needed to be explained to me more specifically than what was explained to me. My child in 8th grade is in the 9th grade accelerated math, the geometry, and she's getting an incomplete for the first 9 weeks. I need to know what is happening with her grade for the rest of the year because of that incomplete. I also have my other child also has the incomplete for gym, which cannot be made up. And I don't know if she does not have a grade for art for the first 9 weeks. The same child.
Yeah, so on that note, we apologize for any inconvenience, working diligently to try to staff this position. I know the math position has been staffed now. So typically, what we do in these cases is we allow that teacher to get in there for a little while and then look back at the body of work to adjust those rooms. As far as the ones where students are not going to be there, for example, in physical education at the middle school, it was my understanding that if we don't have somebody, if they were participating, Mr. Hood was going to follow up and most likely give those students like 100% to participate. And we are diligently working on trying to get that built. Just staffing shortages are not just here in Ambridge and across, the area, the nation. So we're working on that. So to answer your question, I would reach out specifically to Mr. Hurd and I'll have him follow up. I could ask him to follow up if he hasn't already, but that was my understanding on what we asked. So.
Can I say more? I was told by Mr. Hurd that my daughter that is in the 8th grade for the math, they get their incomplete for the first 9 weeks, but for this, when they get their grade for the second 9 weeks, that will be what they get for the first 9 weeks. is that even a real thing? Because what if that child with a new teacher goes on a downward spiral and their grade whenever the teacher left was close to 100%? What is that? Nothing? That means nothing? I don't understand. This makes absolutely no sense to me. How long had the teacher even been gone from that class that it didn't finish the 9 weeks? And how can them grades that they have earned mean absolutely nothing? Like, that's not used for anything? Nothing?
Actually, I said this first, but do you have any other questions before I get to respond?
No, I need that, because that to me is not an answer, because I did speak to Mr. Hurd and that is what he had told me. And I think that getting the grade that you get for the second 9 weeks for the first 9 weeks is unacceptable. I don't think that that's even fair at all to any of the children in the class.
Well, I know that what we had talked about, depending, each situation is a little different, depending on how long the teacher was out. But in particular, in the math class, my understanding was that the teacher had been there for, I know that, for a good portion of the first 9 weeks. But to finalize those grades, when the new individual took over, it was either the day or two before the grades were due or the day or two after. So what we usually do is ask that teacher to take into consideration what those grades were, not simply just say it's going to be the exact same thing you got the second time. So I'll follow up with them on that.
There is no answer of what has happened.
I am answering. The teacher that is going to be in place, what we've done when these situations have happened before, is they look at the body of work and the grades that were there up until that point, along with how they've done in the second 9 weeks. And then they decide whether or not they are going to utilize any of that work, give them the opportunity to make up any work in that time that was missed, allow them to come up with assignments, just use that. We kind of allow the teacher and we ask them to be flexible. And what we want to do is also, you're saying it wouldn't be fair if the kid's grade goes down, but we also want to give them an opportunity, if it was possible, to bring the grade up, if there were some assignments that could still be turned in and graded by the new instructor. So it is a very difficult situation that we face. It's not the first time, it might be the first time in the middle school, but we faced this at the high school, and that's basically how it was handled. It's not a perfect solution, and it's not a great answer to a problem. The best answer is to not have any gaps in instruction. We know that. Fortunately, as hard as we've been working on that to get somebody in as quickly as possible, we weren't successful. And I apologize. We're trying to do our best. So there is no good answer, but what I've found is in the past, at least at the high school, generally speaking, that has been the best resolution. If you've had a teacher there for a while and a new teacher comes in to kind of look at some of those assignments that may be missing, that the other assignments were given, kind of come up with a fair and just grade for that 9 weeks. So I don't think it's as simple, in my opinion, and I will talk to him. He did say that was the answer. You're just going to repeat the second 9 weeks. Generally speaking, that was not what I thought exactly was going to happen. I thought we would look at what they did as the body of the second 9 weeks, how many grades were in there for the first 9 weeks, any makeup work that might be possible, right? And then go from there and see if we could come up with a fair grade for the student. By all means, no matter what way we decide to do it, it's not great. Best way is to have consistent teacher in there and work diligently to try to get folks. And I apologize to everyone. You know, sometimes you almost hire somebody, it doesn't work out. Get a sub, then that doesn't work out. But we're trying to compete to get folks in there. And I know it's important. It's important to me. It's a priority. So we apologize to anyone that's happened. And to your point, no matter what I say, it's not really a good answer because it's difficult when you're transitioning from one teacher to another teacher with a gap. So we're going to try to do our best to be fair, and we found that to be successful before. I will follow up with him on that. Would you like me to ask him to call you back? Or?
Sure. As long as it's going to be something different
Are
explanation.
they learning math, geometry? Are they actually learning geometry?
They were, yes, but it was basically kind of like just for the very end was they did the work, but then it was kind of like they didn't know if it was the correct way that they did the work. So I wasn't sure how long that she had been gone, how much it affected the actual way the grade was. And I wanted to make sure that what was earned was somehow being incorporated into what they, you know what I mean? I feel like they should get some sort of credit for what they have done.
To your question, we have a staff member in. Now,
There is a teacher now, but
Someone math, geometry, math background?
for that amount of time that was missing.
Yes.
I can't say that that was 100% okay. It might have been during some pieces, but not 100%.
Because something like geometry, you build upon that all year. So depending on how much they've missed. Right. I'd almost. Put her in a little map. Fine, just, you know. Yeah,
Right.
good question though.
Well, thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else who wishes to speak this evening?
I just have clarification, Casey Savini, 484 Amsler Ridge Road. Under the committee reports for education and technology, I think it's fantastic for items 1 through 4, especially with the cheerleaders doing as well as they are. Can you just explain to me, it says it's recommended to approve the student's attendance and registration fee of $920, and the disciplinary code and what that all entails? Just because I didn't hear any, I abstained from this because.
Is that all?
Yep.
Okay.
Generally speaking, what this is looking at is it's a trip where they're going to participate. They've done this in years past. The 920 is the registration fee for the coaches to register, travel, and the coaches to register. The rest of the dollar amount comes to our policy. So you take the $3,000 and divide that by the number of students who would be going, and that would be the amount that they could put towards the trip. And this discipline code just basically says any school sponsored trip would follow the discipline code that we have here, the expectation that those rules apply.
And I was just asking because typically when something like that is approved, board members abstain if someone is gonna be benefiting on behalf of that.
I'm gonna speak.
Oh, good.
I do not benefit from this.
No, but
This is
yourself.
coach and team.
Okay, so that's what I needed clarification for. That's what I wanted to ask, because how it's read, if no one knows this, then that question's not asked.
Right,
And it's not explained, one may think that it's being perceived a different way.
sure.
So that's why I was asking for clarification. While I think it's a great thing, I just wanted to clarify because there was no abstaining from that voting motion. Thank you.
I just want to make sure, because that happened last year, which is not a thing. We need to revote the thing.
Typically, and I can like dive in I can look at your policy, but as a pure ethics act matter, if a decision affects equally a whole class of people, sometimes this happens with collective bargaining agreements, no one is being treated differently than any other, then it is not it's not an ethics act violation. And I do believe that generally your policy aligns very much to that state law. So I don't have immediate concern, and even more particularly that I believe that would be unanimous vote. We can take a look at it, and if we believe that there's a concern, we can certainly make a note at a future date.
Thought I'd bring it up, as you know how things get started.
Thank you. Anybody else who wishes to speak this evening?
Michael Bankovich, 2911 Conway Walrose Road. Dealing with the staffing, especially at the middle school where my son is. I understand there is a STEAM teacher that's now been hired for there, but dealing with the art teacher, gym teacher, now the consumer technology, science teacher, are there any other positions that are trying to be filled? Because that is a majority of his beginning of the day that he is not having teachers for, because he didn't have one for STEAM. He has gym this 9 weeks, which doesn't have a teacher. And his consumer science and arts is coming up the next 9 weeks, which looks like he's gonna have the first 2 periods of the day where not necessarily the qualified person isn't gonna be in his room. Is there other teachers that are there or that are missing, or I know staffing is an issue, but that's 2 free periods of his morning every day. Yes.
Thank you.
Just trying to think if get over there, if we have any set up. Like you said, we were able to build Steve. Still been trying to get phys ed and art substitutes. We haven't had success. We've reached out a lot of different places. So just give me 1 minute. I can't 100% say for sure, but I'm pretty sure that Not aware of another position other than what the ones you mentioned there. Right now.
Just I'm sorry, as a follow-up, is it just teachers that have a free period that are filling in for those classes at the moment as you're searching for like long-term sub? Or like, how's that?
Well, that's a good question. So what we try to do, obviously, is the best thing you can do is get a consistent sub with the certifications. That's the best answer. And if you can get that, that's great. And if you can't, if you struggle to be able to get, the next step is that we get day-to-day subs that are even willing to do that with the certification or without the certification, but have some consistency. We try to do that. And then ultimately, if that doesn't work and we don't have folks to do that, then we do use current teachers based upon coverage periods. Then you're correct to fill those roles and to try to facilitate that to the best of their ability. So that is generally speaking the process.
Any other comments this evening? Need a motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All the. Motion carries. Thank you for coming, everybody. Meeting adjourned.
No, I.
Yeah.